Good morning. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker. And we have Kathy with Why Not's Hidden Treasures.
Morning.
And we have Todd, the silver hair stacker. Howdy, howdy.
Howdy, howdy.
How y'all doing?
Oh, is it Thursday? Yeah, Thursday.
I think it is Thursday.
The life of a reseller. You don't know what day it is no more.
No. Nope.
So rough.
Well, I will say I'm glad that I got so much listing done yesterday because after the challenge, I didn't get any more done.
You're out. I'm out.
Well, I was, working with my background and everything and trying to get that all situated. And I wanted to do that, when I have something pending like that, I don't want to just wait.
Yeah.
I want to get it done and I want to get it set up and get everything else set up. And, that way the next day I'm ready to, get back to work. So
Yeah, you'll be on your way.
But I think I figured it out.
Good.
So
yeah, I didn't get all these things done either.
We shall see.
I tapped out. He closes this window. Hang on a minute.
There's Philip. He's first.
Woo, Philip
We
first.
got Bridget and Cindy and Hank. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning. Good morning.
Hope everybody's having a good morning.
Oh.
I am. Yeah. I'm trying.
I know, right? Get there eventually.
Yeah.
Well, I'm hoping tomorrow y'all may get to go yard selling at Highway 70 with me live.
Ooh.
Talking about going tomorrow. So that way
sounds like
y'all might
fun.
get to see it.
So how far are you going?
The first part of Memphis looks really busy because they uploaded a lot of their maps yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to hit the first part. I don't know if we're going to go all the way to Jackson or not. We really haven't decided. So it just kind of like depends on how long it takes us to go through all the first sets of yard sales.
Right.
And then probably Saturday, wherever we left off, we'll finish off the next.
That sounds like fun.
So it should be interesting.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm gonna take y'all live with me, and then we're gonna do while I'm with y'all. He's gonna Instagram live.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get a bunch of people to go with us.
Yeah. Tag team it, huh?
I know, right? And then that way y'all ain't gotta spend a dime. Y'all still get to go to the Highway 70 sale. So if y'all see anything, let me know.
I hope you guys have a good time. I'm sure you guys will have fun and you'll find some good stuff. And
oh yeah, I'm interested.
So you're going Friday and Saturday?
Yeah, we're probably gonna do Friday and Saturday. Depending on how much we get done Friday, will depend on where we go, if we go back Saturday or not.
Yeah, I mean, if you fill up your vehicle on Friday, it's kind of hard to go Saturday.
No, I got 2 vehicles.
Well, if you fill up both vehicles on Friday.
No, we're just taking the first. We're gonna take the truck, so because I always have to take the truck when I go yard selling, because if I don't, then I'll find something I need the truck for, and I'll just have the Jeep, and then I'll be mad because. So yeah, we'll have to bring the truck home, and then if we fill it up Friday, then take the Jeep Saturday.
There you go.
I can take the tops off Saturday because it's supposed to be nice. But yeah, I think it'll be kind of cool.
Carol said she's never been to a yard sale.
Well, you get to go tomorrow.
That's a lie.
Hi, Angie. I don't know. She said she's never been to one.
Well, Cindy, don't be jealous. Tomorrow you're going to get to go. I'm going to take you with me.
First time for everything.
That's right. You ain't got to spend a dime. It'll be the first time I've gone to this one, so it'll be interesting.
She said no, for real.
Oh, well.
Good morning, Angie. So
Sure.
get this flips. We're looking forward to Monday.
Yeah. Must be fun Monday. Lots and lots of
Morning, Val. Morning, sunshine. Cindy says, I'm so jealous of those who get to go do that, or to go to that.
yeah.
There's so many great people going.
There's a
That's
lot
cool.
of people going. I think some of the other guys are. I think is it Lonnie that's going, and who is that? Cincinnati Red. I guess what's his name? I can't think of his name.
Cincinnati Picker.
Yeah, he's going. I
Uh,
think. As
that's cool.
I think they're doing a meetup Friday and Saturday in Jackson. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna make that. That's too much on a Friday night. The roads are way busy. Like the Highway 40 is real busy here, and at
Right.
nighttime on Friday, I don't see well at nighttime anyway. So
Right.
yeah, I'll just go ahead and stay here. I'll watch. I'll watch them live.
I don't blame you. So basically, what your plan is you're going to go out Friday and then come back home,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then.
It's only about 10 minutes from us.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
It's right around the corner from us. It ain't very far.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking it was a ways away.
Oh no, no, it's not very far from us. So we'll start
Okay.
right in the Memphis area. So that's about it's about 20 minutes if I go the certain way I go. So I'll go down
Uh,
there and start off.
cool.
Yeah, yeah. Cincinnati Picker, they're going to be somewhere in Jackson.
That does sound like fun.
Yeah, yeah. If we make it that way, I might stop in there. But I mean, I don't like to drive at night. And the roads, I mean, they're really bad here at nighttime, especially a
Yeah.
Friday, Saturday.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
Everybody's trying to get home and
a lot of
and
drunk
then on the
drivers.
weekend doing stuff and traveling and
Uh-huh.
yeah.
So, but if I get there, I will. I know Rhonda, which has got junk in our trunk. She
Mhm.
she lives here too, and we meet up her state sale sometimes.
Oh,
So
cool.
yeah, so we'll probably she's going, and so if I go, I'll let them know that I'm going, but we haven't really decided yes or no yet. So,
Yeah.
but I think it'd be kind of cool to meet them and meet up with them
Oh, yeah.
if it's not too late. I talk the husband into driving. You drive.
Carol, Bridget said, Carol, I went to yard sales last weekend for the first time in years and got some great deals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yard sales are the best. I mean, they're really, I mean, you sometimes you do have to um barter a little bit, not barter, but um, you know, try to get a cheaper price.
Yeah.
Can't think of what I'm trying to say, like the word. Not barter, but um, just try to get a cheaper price and
Kind of wheel and deal, basically.
yeah, yeah, you know. Um, I I made a good sale with the gunny sacks dress and um there was like a Matori sport set. And those three items to get all together, they wanted like the price tags on them were like $8, and I
Mm.
got all three of those for $3.
Oh wow,
So a buck a piece.
not
But
bad.
I got lucky because the girl that was taking the money, she was like a little, she was probably high school, maybe junior high or something. So she has no. Not that I was trying to get one over on him or whatever,
Right.
but I just walked up and I said, "Would you take $3?" And she said, "Yeah, I think we can do that." And I was like, "Sweet." That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You're my best friend.
I know, right?
So, yeah, Carol says I've had yard sales with my sister, but never went to one.
Oh, they're
Yeah,
fun.
they are they're awesome.
Yeah, they're good
You can get
ag.
some really good that's the word I was looking for, haggle.
Yeah,
Yeah, you get some really good deals.
Mm-hmm.
Um, sometimes you get to the yard sales where they have, all the eBay prices
Oh
all
yeah.
tacked onto them, and all that. And I don't even. I just kind of look around, and usually I don't even see anything that I'm interested in because there's no wiggle room to it anyway. So
Yeah, it's how me and my
yeah,
husband, we'll walk up to one, you'll see the eBay prices. We'll just kind of give each other that look, kind of like do like a little onesie around, and then off we go.
yeah,
I'm out.
yeah. And I am so I don't know how what I would call it, but I'm so like sensitive. Like I feel bad when I go to a yard sale and I don't buy anything.
Oh, I don't. I do not, by no means, no ma'am. And I don't feel bad talking them down because my husband, he'll say, "Well, what's the lowest you'll take for this?" And like they won't say anything, and he'll look at me, and I'll give him a price, and I'll look at him. I'll offend you if I give you a price because I'm gonna give you about $2 for that $5 item or $10 item, because I'm gonna go as low as possible, And
Mhm.
sometimes I get it, and he'll just look at me going, "How'd you do that? Just I want it for $2, and you're
Mhm.
either gonna give it to me or not, and
Right.
work on it."
Yeah.
But I'll walk away. I don't feel bad for not buying not a thing because if you're gonna be that crazy, put it on for eBay prices. You're gonna be that crazy to sit out there with it and not walk away. So
Yeah. Yeah.
that's just me.
Bridget says if I see eBay prices, I'll turn around and leave. I won't even look around.
Oh, I'll make offers,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
but I don't just turn around and walk away. I just look at an item and say, "Hey, I'll give you five."
Hmm.
Mhm.
They can always say no. I don't care if
Yeah.
they say no.
That's all
Right.
they're gonna do is say no.
Right. Yeah.
Hey, Karen's and Anissa.
Doesn't bother me a bit. I had
Oh.
lots of women in college who said no, so it didn't bother me.
Todd used to know. That don't hurt him either. Yeah, I don't feel
No,
bad.
I think Todd had game.
Yeah, he probably did.
No, no, no,
Yeah.
He just lost it along the way. Is that how it goes?
no.
Don't use it, you lose it. That's
All
what
the
my husband's
girls
been
in
Yeah.
telling me.
all the girls in college want to go out with the athletes, and I was like, "Hey, I'm a band nerd. You want to go on a date?" So,
Exactly, Bridget. That's what I'm saying. He is a player.
If I
I'm
can
a
go to a couple
player.
of directions with that one, I'll just be quiet, be a good girl today.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
played French horn. I'm not sure that counted as being a player.
Oh my gosh.
There's a difference in a player and a player.
Then a play on.
It's true. It's true. It's true. Hey, Lori.
Hello.
How
Hey.
you doing? How
There
you
she
doing?
is.
Still here.
Oh,
Oh,
poor thing.
that's good.
First day I felt good enough to get up and get around and do some actual stuff. Well, yesterday I was okay,
Oh my gosh.
but
Look
I
at you.
didn't get
You
home
don't
till
even feel good enough to wear a hat.
nope, not today.
You must be sick if you don't have a hat on.
It's like, oh,
Man, I'm sorry of all the problems you've had lately. Man, you've been
oh.
sick, you've had wrecks, you've been
Yeah, it's like this little black rain cloud just following me everywhere. I feel like Winnie the
telling
Pooh.
you. Yeah.
And then Teresa had to go yesterday and have her esophagus stretched, so we were at the hospital most of the day. So
Oh,
Oh, wow.
I was like, when it rains, it pours.
Yeah, Gwen had that done once.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Food kept getting stuck in her throat. They also did some biopsies of her stomach and her throat. They found 7 spots in there that they're gonna check. So
wow.
hopefully
Wow.
everything comes back okay.
Right. Right.
It's been crazy. But I'm gonna try to get back into the swing of things. I got stuff I gotta get done. So
Got work to do, people.
yeah.
Yep.
Isn't it amazing how fast you can get behind if you if you're out a day or two or three.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh.
Yeah, it is.
Plus, I
pretty
got
good.
a new item that I'm actually making. My kids got me another vape pen. This thing here, or it's not really a pen. It looks more like a bottle of cologne, but it's one of those vape things, and it's heavy. And I make gun holsters with that Kydex material, so I made
Uh-huh.
a vape holder.
Oh wow.
Snaps right in there. You can wear it on your belt.
Oh,
so
cool.
Cool.
so now I've been wanting to do that.
Oh Lord.
So I'm thinking, because it's too heavy to carry in your pocket. So I got out last night because I felt good. I thought I'm going to go out in my shop and I'm going to do some work with some Kydex and see what I can come up with. So there I go.
Wow.
That's
Look at that.
that's
so now I have
cool.
so now I have another product to put on eBay.
There you go.
That's good.
So Teresa's like, "What are you doing?" She said, "You shouldn't be out there working with your power tools on your pain meds." I said, "I got all 10 fingers still."
Oh, okay.
That could be dangerous. Yeah,
Mhm.
I can see her point.
Well, like I said, I still got all 10.
Yeah,
Still.
she made it through.
Yep. So, oh,
Well, that's something that I have been looking at is vape
I
things.
like
'Cause
this one.
I'm actually considering quitting.
And this one's got the universal tank right here.
Mhm.
So you can pretty
Mhm.
much go anywhere and get this part. The one they bought me before was made by Pango or whatever, and you had to order everything online. And
Mm.
it's really simple, and it's also digital. And you can set your well, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you can set your what they call the load, how much intake that you want. This is like 80 watts. I use 50 watts, so it doesn't choke me to death. But
Right.
so, but it's pretty neat. It's called the I can't spell it. Vapresso. It's like a Vaporesso.
Hmm.
Taro Nano, and it's neat. I like it. Now I just gotta. Now I want to find a used one that has a broken body to it, so I don't have to keep using mine as a mold because I have to heat this Kydex up to like 325 degrees
Right.
to make it pliable. So, but I like it. I didn't think I would liking that, but it's pretty neat.
I have no idea what Kydex is.
It is a thermoplastic. You have to heat it up to work with it.
Huh.
I make gun holsters with it. Only per order though. It's not something I do every day because it's
Mhm.
so because I do custom. I get it in black or get it printed. So like mine's got zombie stuff on it. My gun holsters all have zombie stuff on it.
That's pretty cool though.
Yeah. I got my hands into a little bit of everything. I make Jello. I make gun holsters.
Do it all.
That's good.
So, but if the vape holsters take off, I might not have time to do my eBay clothing stuff.
This is true. Might be busy making holsters or holders.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Ooh. And you can pretty much design it however you want, so it's pretty cool. It's neat stuff to work with.
Huh.
Oh.
That's pretty cool though.
I thought,
Carol, believe it or not, I have a gun.
yeah.
I have a couple.
I do too. I have a few. I have one. I have my CCW that I carry every day. I've got two different ones I carry, and then I've got a long barrel 22 and a Mossberg 500. The scatter gun.
Awesome.
Oh. Can't be too careful this day and age, so yeah, I keep my gun on me.
Mhm.
Hi, Karen. How are you?
Karen's at the beach.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm hoping I can return the Posh shares today while holding the baby.
Oh Lord.
Hi, Hank.
My only guns are deer rifles and shotguns, so I don't carry those
Oh, I
around.
If it was legal to carry my shotgun in my truck, that's where it would be. I love that thing.
Isn't it legal to have it in there?
Oh, I don't know. I know it used to be okay to have it in
I'm,
there, but
I'm pretty
uh,
sure you're not supposed to carry a loaded one.
right.
But
I
No.
think your ammo has to be somewhere else. I'm like, well, what good is carrying you know, a shotgun if you can't reach your ammo?
Right.
Hmm.
They don't want it in the cab of the truck. Here in Ohio, they don't want the ammo in the cab of the truck with the gun.
uh,
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, so that means you got to have a special compartment in the back.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I have a locking toolbox on the back of my pickup that.
Which, if you think about it, makes no sense because you can carry a loaded gun on your hip in your car,
Right.
PCW, but you can't have a loaded shotgun in your vehicle.
Yeah.
I can't quite comprehend that one.
That
But
makes sense.
this is Ohio, so that explains a lot. So,
Well, I know that's a weird law, but I've heard a lot more stories about people blowing a hole in their bottom of their pickup with a shotgun than a pistol.
Oh,
mhm.
Just accidentally. Oh, I was just setting my shotgun down on on the seat of my pickup, and I blew a hole through the door on the other side. You know.
Lord.
Yeah. I need to see about maybe going to the down to the shooting range, and I need practice is what I need. And
Yeah.
I'm still a little leery about it, and so I don't have a CCW. I don't believe I don't have to have one here.
All right.
It's an open carry. Um,
Wow. Yeah, I have a concealed. I carry mine.
yeah, and I think if I decided that I wanted to carry it with me, which I don't know, I probably would go ahead and get the concealed, the
Yeah.
CCW, even though I think it'd be a good learning experience, and make me feel a little more comfortable
Mhm.
um, with the gun, because I could shoot it, but I just yeah
Yeah. I,
yep
I do with me having the local sales and stuff like that in this area. I carry mine all the
I
time,
do too.
and
I carry mine.
you'll see it on my hip when I get out of that truck to give you
Yep.
your item because you will not come up on me and be surprised.
Right. We have open carry here too.
Yeah, we do too. But I will conceal it, but you'll see it when I get out if I'm meeting with a guy. So
Right.
I
That's what I do. I pull my shirt up over top of the butt of my gun so they see that I have it.
exactly.
But I don't know. I don't go by myself either. I usually make somebody go with me because just never know.
Yeah.
yeah
But still, and I have one in my vehicle
Hmm.
for that person if it's in the console. But I'm like,
Yeah.
if something happens right here,
hmm
pull it out, aim, and pull the trigger.
Yep.
Just like me.
It's not a beta, but yeah.
Make sure you're aiming at the right person, and have dial 911 while you're firing.
You have to.
Which generally don't have any problems, but you just never know.
no, you don't.
No.
I mean, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why I don't carry it. Number one, I don't go very many places,
Mm-hmm.
but and if I do go somewhere, it's not very, it's not populated, not big city or anything like that. So,
Yeah.
but I mean, that
Mm-hmm.
it can happen anywhere. If something's going to happen, it can happen anywhere. But
And it's not just with reselling. You just have to be, aware of your surroundings and what's going on. I mean, we
sure.
recently had not me personally, but somebody from this area had posted that she had gone into a rest stop with her little baby daughter, and there was two foreign ladies in there, and they followed her in.
Mm,
One went into one stall, one went into the other stall on the other side of her, and they were talking in foreign language. But one of them said something to the effect of the little girl, So she got, the hair on the back of her neck stood up. She had that mama bear instinct, and she just grabbed her kid and went. And when she went outside, there was a van with all the doors open and about 4 guys standing around it. So she made a mad dash to her car and just jumped in and took off. And she thinks they were going to try to take her or her baby, or both, for the human
Yeah.
trafficking. So I mean,
Oh
it's
my
like
gosh.
you have to just. I don't stop at rest stops unless I'm about ready to piss my pants. But for the most part,
Yeah.
you just gotta be careful.
Even the Walmarts are getting bad.
Oh yeah.
We have some here that we everybody like sending out alerts of like somebody coming up and following them around in the Walmart and almost kidnap some of their kids. So yeah.
I always tell my daughter, do
Oh.
not park next to any vans. If there's a van parked next to your car with somebody in it, when you go out, you go back into the store and you ask somebody to escort you out. I said, do not, because I mean that's how they do it.
Yeah.
They
It's
see
really
these young
bad.
girls, and there you go.
90% on their
I
phone.
said, and call me, and I'll come in and I'll shoot them.
I'll come get them.
Oh, heaven forbid somebody mess with my daughter. It'd be worse than what's his face and Taken.
No, dude, you forget that.
Yeah. Oh.
It's true, Hank. You can't do that. They ain't gonna wait. Hang on a minute.
Yeah.
That's what I got the shotgun for, because all they got to hear is that, and they're gone. So they know that sound, no matter what country they're from. They're gonna know what that sound means, and they know to run.
Yeah. And my dogs don't bark no more. I can walk in the house and they're still sleeping. It's like, yeah, I got my guns. Don't worry about it. Sleep.
Well, my
They're
dog's
too old.
barking a gnat fart, so I mean, that's,
I don't. I wouldn't even know if they were here. So I was like, yeah, whatever. Just, just hurry up. Crazy dog. Crazy
You
little.
just have to be really. I mean, I didn't get the gun until after Mike had died, but I thought, I gotta be, protected.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I have my dogs, but I mean, if they have a gun or, a knife or something, I mean, they can kill the dogs. You
oh
know,
yeah.
um, they'll probably just kick them, and that. No, I think they would. I definitely think they would try to, protect me, but and I kind of make it. I mean, I know that everybody in this town that lives in this town, I know that they know that I'm alone, but like I have a pair of old boots that I put outside by the door, the front door,
Mm-hmm.
and I just keep those there.
Yeah, that's smart.
That way, if anybody, is just driving through, they see the boots and they're like, oh, there must be a, you know,
Yeah.
and and yeah, I actually have my house pretty well booby trapped. Not really booby trapped, but just like I have knives in certain places in the house, and I have like 3 baseball bats. I have, those jingle bells that you put on like a wreath on.
Yeah.
Well, I have one of those hanging on my back door, so if somebody tries to come through there, it's gonna make noises.
Mm-hmm.
And and then I have my gun. So I just try. I'm always looking for different things that I can do, just to big dog bone next to. Uh, but I mean, I just have to. I have to really, just kind of keep my eyes out, be conscious of what's going on, and yeah, just kind of have to do that.
You do, especially these days. No one's safe, not even guys.
Mm-mm.
It's hard.
Yeah, and I always keep. I have like a screen, a storm door, and I always keep that locked. And then I always keep my front door locked. Um, just to be, I mean, because people can just come in
Oh
They
yeah.
could just walk in, like nothing,
Mhm.
and so I'm not. No, I just get in the habit of keeping everything locked in the front. That
Mhm.
way, it's all covered.
My daughter-in-law, my son, they keep their door unlocked. I'm like, do y'all know somebody can just walk up in here and get y'all? I fuss at them every day. Well, Lord, I want to whoop his butt. I'm like, if you don't lock this door, I'm gonna whoop your butt. Whoop him. I promise you, anybody mess with my grandbabies or hurt them, I'm gonna hurt them.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy. You can't do that these days.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
I mean, I'm sitting in my living room, my door's locked.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't care. I can see that door, and I got a gun right there. We got one in the living room. We keep one in our bedroom, one in our vehicle, and then I have one up here.
Yep.
So, I mean, you got to keep enough. I mean, you never know. Shoot,
Nope. You
you
got to
or
be
me.
prepared.
It ain't gonna be me. Or I'm gonna go down trying at least.
That's right, Anissa. Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I think most of us feel that same way.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
They won't need a lawyer, neither will I can promise you that.
Yeah.
'Cause, yeah, you don't mess with family.
Mm-mm.
No. I go batshit crazy if somebody messes with my kids or my family. I got into it with a big old guy in Whole Foods parking lot last summer because he was mouthing at my sister. I just got out of her car. We was gonna go wine tasting, and I walked over to his car. I said, "Get out of that car, fat ass, and I'll show you what I'm gonna do to you." I said, "You don't talk to her, my sister, like that." He was calling just because she's waiting for a parking spot, and it's a
Oh,
small parking lot anyway. Plus, they took half of it to build some kind of a pet smart or whatever. So she's just waiting to pull into a parking spot, and this guy's laying on his horn, calling her to get her bitch ass out of the way, and it just
oh.
went through me like that. Instant red,
Wow.
instant red. I was like, I'm going to show you a bitch here in about 5 seconds. Get out of that car.
Let me show you how to do this.
His eyes got real big. I said, beep one more time. And I said, your head's going to be up your own tailpipe. My other sister's going, Lauren, calm down. I said, he ain't going to get away with talking to her like that. It ain't happening. He just say he just left. He didn't come into the store. Good choice. It's
Oh
just
my.
I get irate when it comes to family or my kids. It's just like, forget it. Once I get past that point, there ain't no stopping me.
Oh yeah. My sons will say the same thing. Don't mess with her. They say, don't mess with me because you'll have a fight on your hands. That's for sure. Just don't.
I got in trouble in junior high. Some boy down the street called my mom a bitch on the bus, and I took his
Mm?
arm and I did a pile drive on his arm on the back of the bus and broke his arm. So I got in some serious trouble for that.
Oh
Had to
wow.
cut a lot of grass to pay that doctor bill. But it's just like, that's definitely one person you don't talk about is my mom.
Yeah, absolutely. That's yeah.
Yeah, I got
That's
some.
off limits right there.
Yeah, I got some.
You don't mess with that.
My dad's like, I understand why you did it, but you just can't go off the handle like that. I'm like, but Mom, he called Mom a bad word, you know. So he's like, I get it, but you're in some serious trouble right now. Ugh. Oh. So how's everybody's sales doing?
I was just gonna ask that question.
Wow.
Let's see.
Karen, it's funny. Celebrity bodyguard.
That's right.
Well, if y'all come out this way, I'll be your bodyguard while you're out.
Okay.
You're a bodyguard. Yay!
Oh, my sales are like in the tank. Nothing's doing very good right now.
I can see a downturn in regular items, but specific items that are like high demand.
Mm-hmm.
I can't keep them in, I can't keep them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, uh, I listed a camcorder yesterday with night shot.
Mm-hmm.
It's gone.
You already
Really?
sold it?
So, yeah.
Well, see, I got like 6 of those, but we use them for ghost hunting, and I don't know if I want to sell them or not.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're the Sony Handycams with night shot, and that's the only company that makes them with night shot.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, do I want to sell those or and get different
What'd
ones?
you sell yours for, Todd?
It was a Sony night shot. I sold it for, what was it, 70?
Cool.
Well,
Not
that's
bad.
an incentive to go dig them out.
Yeah.
Laura's like, okay, yeah.
So, I mean, but like clothes or, you know, just regular stuff seems real slow to sell.
Did you
Yeah.
have did you have it listed just general electronics, or did you put it in the ghost hunting equipment because there's an actual category for that?
Is there
Oh,
really?
Yeah,
Oh wow.
no, what did
I didn't know that.
I just listed it as a camcorder. I don't even remember if I even looked to see the category that eBay automatically assigned to it for
I
my
should
title.
I should say there used to be a category for it because that's the category I always searched stuff under when I was buying equipment for the paranormal team. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, you used to be able to make that selection because I did sell a few cameras last year, but they were Sony, but they weren't night shot. So, and that was one of the things that come up ghost hunting equipment or something like that.
Oh,
Huh.
So, but with the changes eBay makes nowadays, you don't know what's
Interesting.
categories what anymore.
Right.
ain't no telling.
But you can look, if you ever have stuff like that, look under ghost hunting equipment in your search, and it'll show you all kinds of different things: voice recorders, cameras, tripods, laser pens, all kinds of crazy stuff.
Huh.
Okay.
I
Because
will definitely have to look at that.
we have all that stuff. I'm just debating on whether or not I want to sell it and just go back to old school ghost hunting like
Right.
we used to do, and because it was a pain in the butt because we'd have 4 or 5 DVRs with all these cameras coming off them to cover an entire home, and it
Mm-hmm.
would take a couple hours to get all that stuff set up. So we were losing time because you
Right.
got to run cables, you got to mount cameras, and so I have all this equipment. I'm thinking, do I want to sell it
Do that.
and make some money? Oh, and make some room in my storage and
Well, and that's the thing. I mean, if you're still, hot and heavy into that, then
and
you probably
we're
want to
not.
hold on to it. But
hmm
and if you sold all your stuff and you decided to get back into it, I mean, you could
Always buy more, yeah.
buy
Which
it
we
back,
do it.
buy
We
some
do
more.
it as needed. I mean, we have 1 or 2 cases a year now. Where it was, we were
Right.
going out every other night. It seemed like, and it's
Oh
just like,
wow.
and there's so many paranormal groups out there, and so many of them that don't know what they're doing. Some of them that really do, and it just got to be a lot of drama too. So there's
Right.
drama in everything you do. There's drama. Even ghost hunting, there's drama. I'm like,
Who
come on,
would have
people.
thunk that?
Yeah. Well, you get these groups that they get on that, what is it, My Ghost Story or whatever on A&E, and their heads get like this big. So, I mean, it's like, oh, now they've been on TV, so now they think they know everything. We turned down several options to be on the Bio Channel, Lifetime, all that, and I said, no, that's not what we're doing. We're not going that route. That's not what we're about. So we're here to
Right.
help people understand what they're dealing with, and that's it.
Yeah.
So, and everyone's like, "Oh, you should do it. It's fun." Oh yeah, okay. No. So, but we've been doing a lot of old school stuff with just a camera and a voice recorder.
Yeah.
So, oh. So if anybody wants to buy some ghost hunting equipment and start their own group, I do have plenty.
Good plug.
All
Good plug
right.
there. Good job.
Yeah. Oh, and if you think about it, they're never going to prove with all the apps and the camera and the Photoshop. Nobody's ever going to be able to prove that there's existence of ghosts. It's all about what you experience yourself with your own eyes and ears. So,
Oh, absolutely.
and I even turned myself into a ghost on YouTube a few years ago and put it on our page just to make that point. Like, see, look, even I'm a ghost and I'm a living human being, but you can see through me right now. So, I mean, you just can't. It's all about personal experiences, and that's about it.
Right.
So that's what I told the rest of the team. I was like, we really don't need all this stuff because no matter what we capture, it's still going to be under scrutiny by every other team out there and every scientific community that has to do with it because of all the high-tech equipment that you can use to create the same effect.
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
shows has gone from guns to ghosts.
Yeah. Then that's the thing is a lot of people don't, understand that there's, there's experiences out there that you've had or that some people have had, and but then there's other people that they're not, believers, I
Right.
guess you could say, and so they're, kind of
Unless
I
they've seen
can't.
it with their own eyes or and ears and experience it for themselves, they're never going to understand what this person went through or what this person has seen or dealt with. And
Right.
no camera in the world is going to be able to capture that experience.
Right.
Yeah, you can capture all the audio you want in the world, but it's like, and it's weird hearing a disembodied voice when you're the only one in the room.
Right.
But you still say I should let you listen to it. You don't know who's in that room with me. You don't know that I'm in there by myself. All you're going by is what I'm telling you. So it's still, begs to differ for the scientific community. It's never going to be an accepted science, no matter what.
Right.
Right, what to come up with. So, ugh. But it is fun. It's fun, and it's good to help people understand what they're dealing with.
Sure.
That's the main thing. As long as they understand that it's not anything that's going to hurt them or anything like that.
Well, Lori, can you come to my house and talk to mine? Come at nighttime at 9 o'clock and come upstairs, and don't light me up here
every night.
Yes,
that's what's called a residual haunting. That's like that's a loop. That's something that they did every single day.
Yeah, that's what I kind of figured.
They can't interact with you. There's a difference. There's an intelligent haunting and there's residual. Residual is like a tape player playing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, I don't come up here. I get eerie feelings when I come up here at nighttime. So. Like, I just stay downstairs.
They probably don't even realize you're there.
They probably don't, but I know that they're here. So
right,
I just stay away.
Just think of it this way: somebody with OCD passes away in that home. They do the same thing they come in, they put their keys down, they take their shoes off, they go to the refrigerator. Same pattern. They're leaving an energy pattern everywhere they go. Everybody does it. They leave energy patterns. But if you travel the same course day in and day out, that energy pattern is going to be stronger, and it's going to keep repeating itself. That's basically
whoever it was decided they came into the house and they go straight upstairs. So I don't know if it was a kid or maybe I don't know.
Every night at 9 o'clock.
Around about 8:30, 9 o'clock, the door will slam, and then you'll hear noise stuff walking around up here.
That's residual haunting. That's just they don't know you're there. They can't interact. It's just an energy pattern that's left behind.
Well, I just turn all the lights on, so my husband goes, that they don't care if the lights are on or not. I said, but it makes me feel better.
Absolutely. I'd rather see something in the plain light than
I know, because I have like a couple of doorways to get through before I get out of this little room I'm over here in, and there's this too dark.
See, I have intelligent hauntings. That's my mom and dad, so I know it's one or the other or both of them at the same time. So quite often.
Yeah, I'm with Anissa. I wish he would go ahead and vacuum my whole house and do some cleaning for me. Please.
That's like somebody posted a picture on one of the paranormal pages on Facebook. It had this. They're saying, "Tell us what you see," and it had this blurred blurred picture. You could plainly see a little kid, and they had this blurred picture of a woman and then a little Bissell bot. And I'm thinking, well, if I had, they said it was their son's imaginary friend. I thought, well, shit, if my son had an imaginary friend with a Bissell bot, I'd help him clean my carpets.
I know, right? And Karen says she wants hers to list for eBay for her. Yeah, I want them right to work. There's a couple. Come on in. I got a couple computers. Shoot, do something.
Where's Sally at today?
I don't know. I'm assuming she's probably sleeping. She's been working.
Yeah. I probably should be sleeping, but I don't want to.
How are you feeling?
Better, thanks to the medication, even though it kind of makes me feel a little groggy. But and I got to go in a couple of weeks to get that colonoscopy done. Like, oh yay! I'll be glad to put that on my calendar. That's like a camera going up the poop chute. Like, yeah, that sounds like fun. Woo-hoo.
By the way, hi everybody.
Hi, Nikki.
Morning, Nikki. Fancy seeing you here. Glad you're in this morning. Yeah, we've talked about all kinds of different things today. This guns and
ghosts,
guns and ghosts, and poop.
And poop.
Cameras and poop sometimes do go.
True.
Say. All goes
they don't expect anything less out of this group, though.
Yeah, we don't surprise anybody anymore.
I think they'd be disappointed if we didn't.
Exactly. They'd be like, now, wait a minute. I'm going through the checklist. You guys have not talked about poop yet. You haven't talked about this yet.
When my husband had to have a colonoscopy and they had to go in and stretch his esophagus.
Yeah, Teresa had that done yesterday.
They said, oh, we'll do it at the same time. You know, I said, well, make sure he does the esophagus first.
Make sure they're stretching the right one.
Just to put the wrong camera in the wrong spot. Well, I didn't think of that. I was just thinking of doing the colonoscopy first and then making a mistake putting that tube down his throat.
Yeah, my mind works differently.
That would be funny.
Oh my gosh.
That'd be funny. Lord help us.
I dozed off reading this post on Facebook, and I was sitting here reading all the comments, and I dozed off, and I just woke up.
There you go.
This poor girl, I don't even remember what group it was on, but she had found this ring in a purse, in a wallet, and everybody was attacking her for not figuring out whose ring it was and giving it back to the rightful owner. Because it came with because she bought it at a thrift store. She bought this wallet at a thrift store. The ring was inside of it. Everybody was talking about white gold, sapphire, whatever. I don't know what it was, but anyways, I don't know anything about rings or anything. Anyways, and then there was a receipt for a jeweler in there. And everybody's like, well, if you got the receipt, you should go and see who the rightful owner is. And she said she tried looking up the jeweler or whatever. The phone was disconnected and the jeweler is no longer in business. So they're telling her she's got to go through this place and look, and she's got to do this and look for the person and do it. And she says, sorry, I'm not, going to be like Sherlock Holmes. And, I looked up the jewelry store. I tried to find them, how much more do I have to do? And everybody was just well, what if it was your ring and you lost it and blah, blah, how would you feel? It's like, if you've got an expensive ring and you don't take good care of it, that's your own freaking problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Right.
When I lose something of value, I'm like sad or whatever, but it's my own fault for not taking care of it.
Yeah.
Uh, and they're like, oh, it could have sentimental value or whatever. Well, it must not have had that much sentimental value if they don't know where it is. They
Exactly.
lost. I mean, I have this glass dog, a porcelain dog, knick-knack. And it was this dog that I used to play with at my great aunt's house, and I was very close to my great aunt. I was kind of sickly when I was a kid. I had convulsions, and she used to come down all the time and take me to lunch, and she'd take me to movies, and we were just very, very close. And I loved her dearly. And well, she passed away from a brain tumor, and I used to play with this dog every time I was at her house. Well, everybody knew this. I love this dog. Well, anyways, when she passed away, I was given this dog. Now, this was when I was probably, well, she died before my grandma Blotty did. So my grandma Blotty died when I was in 5th grade. So I was really young. And I still have that dog sitting on my shelf.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I've moved or anything, that dog was specifically wrapped and put in a box, and I knew exactly where it was. And that was one of the first things I'd always brought out of the boxes too. And I always told everybody, this is my dog. Do not ever let anything happen to that. You know what I mean? So yeah, something of sentimental value, you take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I mean, my dog ain't worth anything, I'm sure, but it still has sentimental value.
Right.
And I always know exactly where that dog is at all times. I'm looking at it right now.
It's worth something to you.
And it's worth something to me. And yeah, if you've got something of sentimental value, you take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just me, I guess, but somebody bought something and they got it, and I don't believe in. One time I found a Bible in an auction box, and it was the family Bible, and it had all the dates and of deaths and births and everything else, and it had some pictures in there, and it had some other different things in there, kind of memorabilia kind of stuff of the family, all in this Bible. Well, the only reason why I contacted the family was because it was somebody I knew. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bothered. But I knew she was going through her grandpa's stuff. Her grandpa had just passed away, and so I contacted. I went to school with her when I was younger, and I contacted her, and she said no, it meant to be in that box. And I said okay. I just wanted to make sure first. I ended up selling that Bible for like $50.
Wow.
And I found it in the bottom of a dollar box,
Mhm.
But I did my due diligence. I went and asked her, blah blah blah, and yeah, she didn't want it. It was something, I don't know why somebody wouldn't want it, but. And then another time I went to a state auction for a local businessman who had passed away, and it was his business. Well, anyways, there was this Bible. It was his Bible that the funeral home gives you when you have a funeral there. And my husband worked with the guy's son. He was like he wasn't estranged from his dad, but he wasn't I think it was more like an adoptive son. He wasn't his true blood relative.
Mhm.
So he was like raised by the guy or whatever. Well, the actual son, who was nothing but a loser, crackhead, liked cocaine and everything, he came in, took everything, and yeah, spent it all on drugs and whatever. Well, anyways, my husband works with the guy, and he was talking to this guy and found out that he was like the adoptive son or whatever. I don't remember the whole story, but anyways, he goes, my wife was at that auction and she got the Bible. Because I had mentioned to him, I said, it's really sad that this guy's kid and family didn't keep this Bible. It was from his funeral, and they just let it go in the auction. And my husband had mentioned it to the guy, and he goes, well, I would really like to buy that from her. Well, I told my husband, I said, just give it to him. But that, it came in a pile of stuff. I wasn't owed anything, but that made that guy's day. He goes, I didn't get anything of my father's, because it all went to him or whatever. There was no actual will or whatever, so it ended up, I don't know the whole exact story, but anyways, he ended up with nothing. The kid got it all, ended up gambling and drugging it all away and everything. And so all the guy really got ended up with was this Bible. And he was thrilled, and so I gave it to him, but I would not have actually sought out the family for it, because I didn't know the family. And unless my husband had actually said something, you buy stuff at a sale and people don't know what they got or what's in there. That's their problem, not yours.
Mm-hmm.
When you buy something, and whether there's a ring in there, whether there's $100 bill in there, it's yours.
To do with what you want.
That's right.
I think the only time I would try to hunt for an owner of a ring is if it was a class ring or something.
Yeah. Even then, well, first of all, like some people are saying, if you open this can of worms and start searching for people, all of a sudden you're going to get some weird people coming out of the woodwork trying to say it's theirs, blah, blah, blah,
right.
And, or if somebody said, oh, you could bring it back to the thrift store and they could get it to the owner. And it's like, yeah, right. Like they're going to do that. First of all, the person you give it to is either A, going to put it on the shelf to sell it, or B, they're going to put it in their pocket and keep it. One or the other, And then they're like, put an ad on Craigslist for lost and found. It's like, you realize how many people are going to be coming out of the wood? No, you don't need to go through all that. She did say she tried to find the jeweler. The jeweler's closed. She tried calling the number. It was disconnected. That's all she needs to do. And she doesn't even need to do that. But that made her feel better about it, whatever. But I wouldn't even have done that. It's mine. I found it in the thing I bought. It's mine.
Yep.
Am I an asshole? Maybe, but it's mine.
Mine.
That's right.
Mine. All mine.
The mine
like
bird.
Those seagulls on. I'm on that, like those seagulls on that one movie. What movie was that? Where they're all like mine.
Isn't that like Finding Nemo or something? Mine.
Yeah.
Mine.
Mine. But yeah, the administration had administer for the Facebook group had shut comments off on it. Thank God, finally, after like 400 and some comments. But I thought, holy crap, these people are like just cutthroat with her,
That's crazy.
This poor girl. There's always some kind of drama going on, I guess. But
always.
And if there's any comments, I can't read it because my computer's updating, so I'm not looking at the comments in the chat. So hopefully nobody's calling me a bitch.
Nobody's talking bad about you.
Yeah, I just thought that was just so rude that everybody was doing that. Couldn't believe it.
Well, that is kind of crazy, though. I mean, I can understand that, like something like the one that what's his name was it Global Voodoo did when he did that storage unit, and he found that mother's son's military stuff in that little thing, and he went and found her. Well, that's something totally different. This is a ring that she had in a bag, and I'm sure it was insured. you know, I mean, if it was really that much sentimental value to you, you would have kept it in a safe place.
Yeah.
And it's like someone else said, it's probably a family. She probably passed away, and a family probably just chunked all her stuff at a donation bin and didn't care.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could be trying to chase something down that's not there. I mean, you can't beat people up for that. I mean, if she
No.
tried, she
Right.
tried. Dang. You know, I mean, like with the family pictures, we'll call and tell the storage unit that we have family pictures. If they call, here's our number, have them call us, we'll send them to them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If it's something sentimental, then yeah, I'll track them down, but you can only do
Yeah.
so much.
Exactly.
What do you
And
want to do?
usually
Drive around?
I don't even bother with trying to get in touch with people. I went to another sale one time and I bought a whole box of family. There was all kinds of family pictures in there. Well, my sister-in-law loves looking at old photos. Well, one day she was over visiting and she's like, "Oh, can I look in this box of photos?" I said, "Yeah, I don't care." I said, "I just got them at a sale."
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh my God, this is so and so," and it was part of their family. It was like an extended part of their family. And she goes, "Do you mind if I return these to them?" And I says, "No, I don't care. I mean, like I said, I came in a big bulk thing, so it was, I didn't really pay anything for them."
Yeah.
And she called up the cousin, and the cousin's like, "Yeah, there was a box of pictures that had been taken by mistake. And if we could get those back," she says, "I'll pay for whatever you paid for them." And I said, "Well, it's no big deal. It's this kind of sale where they have it every year. It's the fireman's sale, and you take everything and put it in a pile, and then they give you one price and you pay for it all.
Yeah.
And it's usually pretty reasonable. So, I mean, I literally paid nothing for them. And I said, "No, you can have them back. I mean, it's family. But yeah, otherwise, I would have, there was a lot of old pictures in there. I probably would have sold them.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's true. Just, I mean, you have to do what you can. If you do what you have to do, you can't worry about what everybody else says.
Well, exactly. I mean, if we sat and worried about everything we bought, if it meant something to somebody or whatever, we'd never make any money. And
No.
and that was another thing that somebody else had said in there, and I was thinking the same thing. This is a resellers Facebook group, you know. How are these people making any damn money if they're gonna search out everybody for every sentimental thing they find, or anything that's worth money?
I
It's
know.
like, how are you people making any damn money?
You're too busy trying to find everybody. I ain't got time for all that.
Exactly.
I got too much crap to list and go through.
Exactly.
And it's just like, it's crazy though. I mean, it's kind of, I mean, like I said, each their own. You have to do what's right for you, and it's just, I don't know.
If it was put in there by mistake, well, sorry,
Yeah.
it was your own fault. I mean, I've had things by mistake go to the trash or whatever, and or to the rummage sale. It was my own fault.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm sweating.
Why are you sweating? Dang Todd.
I can't. I can't believe I got that fleece jacket in here.
Oh.
My God. The padded flat rate envelope. I crammed and pushed and shoved and
Do you have
huffed
Gwen?
and puffed and
Do you have Gwen
look at
still
it's
on
a
it?
foot. It's a football. Look at that. Oh my God. It
Might want
fit finally.
Good
My
job.
fingers are sore.
to
You
throw
know,
a piece of tape on the edge there.
Yeah.
a trick. A trick that you can do is you can cut a hole at the bottom of the envelope, just a small one. It doesn't have to be big.
Yeah,
Cut a
little
hole.
tiny.
Yeah, just cut a whole little hole in there, and that way when you're pushing that stuff in, it'll push the air out, and it's easier to get the item in there. And then you just put a piece of tape
Uh-oh.
over there. Get it?
Yeah, a little piece of tape. Yeah.
Just
And
sold
that
a rucksack.
good job.
Ah,
Awesome.
That's a gift that keeps on giving, right?
mhm.
Bunch. I got
The sale that keeps on giving.
I started with 120 rucksacks.
Wow.
So,
Cool.
and they fit in a They don't have the frames or anything, so they fit in a box.
Hmm.
Right.
So I've been selling them for $21. So
Yeah,
anyway,
I know. I understand about why not's hidden treasures and that comment. I try to refrain from. I mean, if I post like a question or something on our group, like the reseller squad,
Mm-hmm.
of course, I'm comfortable with that. But I've been chastised before on different
Mm-hmm.
questions and kind of torn down, and I just don't do that no more.
No,
Yeah.
I
I just
won't.
nope. Ain't
Yeah,
gonna
I
do it.
very rarely post anything on any other Facebook group except for this one,
Yeah.
just because of that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't either.
I learned my lesson.
Mm-hmm. Mm-mm. I have enough aggravation at my house. I don't need no extra.
And
Yeah.
that's just not right.
No.
That's not right for it to be like that. But it is, and I guess that's just the way it goes. And
Well, and she was only asking about the value because she knows nothing about jewelry.
right.
And she wasn't asking, what should I do? She was
Right.
asking, you know, should I or how much is this worth because I know nothing about it.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, that's some people are just too harsh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the group's there for, is to help each other out, not sit there and tear each other down. I mean,
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
I just don't like it, and I don't get involved with it. That's why
Yeah.
I won't even post on somebody else's sometimes. Like if they ask something, I'm not even gonna get into it because then you have 18 other people. No, I ain't doing it. I'll
Yeah.
help a little bit.
Yeah. And
I
I've,
mean,
well, that one time, I haven't posted anything since that one time I posted. That time I posted about somebody saying something wrong on their video. And I never mentioned who it was, but I posted it on the Reseller Society, and nothing against Reseller Society. Um, because I'm friends with Chad. I don't have any problem, and Walking Picker and all them. I don't have any problems. I'm just saying, I posted something on there one time, and yeah, I got completely chastised on there. I couldn't believe it, how
mhm,
badly they attacked me. And not about me pointing out that it was somebody's video, but they were saying I was wrong, and I'm not. I was completely right.
mhm.
And but yeah, I mean they were cutthroat. I couldn't believe it. I mean, wow.
Yeah.
You remember that, don't you, Valor?
Yep.
And ever since then, yeah, I watch what I don't even answer questions anymore on there. I just let it go.
Yep.
Hmm. Like I said, there's drama everywhere.
There
And
Hmm.
is.
so are those wanting to create it, by
Mhm.
attacking others. So because
Yeah,
they think they know better or they know more or
yeah,
uh, yeah, it's ridiculous. It's like, can't we all just get along? Come on, we are the
exactly,
world.
exactly.
Here to help.
That's what's wrong with this world. There's too many that they think they know everything and want to chastise and belittle those that they believe they don't know everything.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
I was always taught no question is a stupid question. There's a
Exactly.
reason why people ask questions because they don't know the answer. They're looking for people that
Hmm.
might. Instead of cutting them down, just offer your insight.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
don't. I think the
And
reseller
and
squad.
and you have to be open to
Yeah,
some criticism
right. And
too.
you have to have
You know.
be able to take that. And it's like you know, and there's some that are very sensitive and they ask the questions and then or if you ask a question and then you ask them why they feel that way, they get defensive. It's like,
Hmm.
well, I'm just wanting to understand your point of view.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I want to know that what you're telling me is what I want to go by. So
Right.
Yeah.
So if you call them out on it, they're like, well, it's because of that. It's like. Oh.
I'm reading the chat now. Hank Allen Cash says, Nikki, just tell him, don't you know who I am? That's right. Don't you know who I am?
Yeah, once you know who I
Your problem.
am.
They probably didn't know who I was because Facebook won't let me use popular picker on my Facebook. So as a name. So they must not have knew who I was.
Yeah. Constructive criticism, no problem. Laughing in my face, no thanks. Exactly.
Yeah. That's why I like posting in our group because everybody
Right.
knows who I am, so they don't bug me.
They know who you are.
I hardly even interact with any other groups anymore.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's just like
I used to interact in
something going
Dusty's
on.
group, but I knew because Dusty wouldn't
Yeah.
allow that kind of stuff,
Right. And I
Yeah.
love watching him and Tristan's videos.
I don't post in many groups anymore or answer questions, which is a shame because I have a lot to offer.
Yeah.
I have a lot of information, but yeah, and there's a lot of people out there. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm just great and whatever, but there's a lot of people out there with a lot of good information and know a lot of stuff and have been doing this for many years, like me. And yeah, a lot of them are like that. They're like, yeah, I don't even want to say a word in there because they're gonna jump down your throat instantly,
Yeah.
Right. And
it's not only Reseller Society. And as a matter of fact, the thing I'm talking about wasn't even in Reseller Society. It was in a different one. But yeah, I mean, and they're not the only group that there's pain in the asses in. There's other groups too that are just as easy to jump down your throat.
Yeah.
And they're so big, it's hard to police it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that nobody took care of me or whatever over there because I mean, if I was really that concerned about it, I could have messaged Chad or Chris or anybody and said, "Hey, you want to take care of this?" And they probably would have.
Oh, they would have been all over it.
Yeah, but because they know who I am.
Right. Exactly.
No,
That's exactly
kidding.
right.
But yeah, I mean, if I was that upset about it, I'm sure they would have taken care of it just because they're gentlemen. But yeah, so I mean, it wasn't that big of a deal. So, but yeah, it just made me aware. I just don't.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they probably learned the hard way, just like everybody else. A lot of people just don't post that stuff in there.
Yeah.
And which is a shame.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, if you post in like some of these reseller groups, because the people that may know something in that reseller group, you've done push that person away to someone else that will possibly either not give them the information or they're going to give them false information. So, I mean, you're just running people away with that, and that's it's not good.
Nope.
I don't know.
Like that, you want this rice?
So Bridget, she woke up to 5 sales on Poshmark.
That's awesome.
Very good. Very, very
Were
good.
they all to the same person, or was it like a bundle deal, or what?
I don't know.
Hmm.
It's a good question. Poshmark has been doing pretty good. I mean, the last couple of days, it's kind of slowed down, I guess. But I have been doing, some rearranging and stuff like that. So I haven't been like yesterday. I could share a little bit, but I didn't share near as much as I usually do. So I think that took a
Oh, that's awesome. Way to go, Bridget.
That is awesome.
Maybe I need to start selling clothes.
Yeah. I mean, Clothes sell. They do sell.
It's not a
Clothes and
ghost on a
shoes.
camera.
I just need to list.
It's not a ghost.
No, I'm making my own fog machine. Watch.
What in the world?
Oh my gosh.
It's tutti fruity.
Tutti frutti.
I must say it tastes a lot better than cigars or cigarettes. So it was me and Nathan and Olivia. We were all sitting out there with our vapes, so we had the whole living room nothing but a big fog bank.
Oh my gosh.
My daughter walks in, she's like, "What the hell?
What are you doing?"
Can't even see.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm really thinking about investing in one, but I want to make sure that, I have
Oh God.
number one, I have something that that I get something where I can get the juice
Yeah.
for it too. So I want everything to be, whether it's like online that I order it or, you know.
Then they got
My husband.
these little ones that look like little cigarettes. These are made by Blue, which they're
Mhm.
okay in a pinch, but you got to keep getting these little things that come with them, the cartridges, and these cost more than the unit itself.
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's cheaper to buy the whatever kind you get, the big tank kind, and because you can get those you can get these bottles of juice for like $5 and they last for a while. So
Yeah.
My husband heard that the vaping is worse than cigarettes.
well, that's
Smoking cigarettes.
well, that's coming. A lot of people say that's coming from the tobacco companies because they want you to go back to smoking. So I mean, it's again, that's something they're always like somebody always saying something bad,
Yeah.
no matter what.
That makes sense. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, I know a lot of people are getting like bronchitis from them because of the water vapor.
Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't make me cough like the cigarettes do at all. Unless if I have it full wattage, like the 80 watts, I can't handle a puffing on that. It makes me cough. But this one's where you can set it to where it's comfortable.
Mm. Yeah, and I know nothing about it, so I'm just saying what my husband had heard.
I'm just getting into it, this way. I was using the pins, like what I just showed, the blue pins.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And I would go through one of these in probably a couple hours. So, and you only get 3 in a pack for like $12, or no, these were $16 for those. So,
Oh, be free.
yeah, everything. Heck's right. Everything is bad for us. Heck, now they're saying hot dogs cause cancer. Damn it.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
Yeah. Oh, I know my sister, or not my sister. My sister's gone. My daughter, when she lived with her other roommate, her roommate wouldn't allow boxed macaroni and cheese in the house. And
is it an attack?
Because they said that the yellow dye or whatever that's in it causes cancer. And it's like, oh, come on. It's boxed macaroni and cheese. Shut up.
Well, from what I've heard, everybody has a cancer gene in them. It's whatever. It's based on whatever sets it off. You're either going to end up with it or you don't. So I mean, it's like everybody is pretty much born with that particular gene in their body. So
I'm a firm believer of that.
Yeah. So I mean, it just depends on. We don't have it in our family. My mom was a smoker. My dad was a smoker. My mom died of heart disease, but her lungs were, other than, tobacco itself, as far as cancer goes, there was no trace. So then you got people lady I used to work with, she was a churchgoer, never smoked a day in her life, and she died of lung cancer. So, I mean, it's just like, okay. I think it just depends on what sets it off and where it's located.
Oh, look at Superman's wife.
Yeah.
She passed away from lung cancer, and yeah, she never smoked a day in her life.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Her mother's mustache. Coffee is your vice. Oh, I couldn't live without coffee. If coffee can't cause cancer, well, hey. And people don't want to see me without coffee. It's not pretty. Oh.
Yeah. I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
It's a possibility. So.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, that whole cancer gene thing, it makes sense because there's people out there who drink and smoke pot and do all this and that, and they live long, healthy, happy lives. Nothing happens to them. They live to be 80, or 90.
Look at George Burns. I mean, he puffed on a cigar all day long, every day, and he lived to what, 90 something?
Yeah.
And didn't have lung cancer.
And my grandpa, he was always chewing on a cigar, smoking a cigar, chewing on it. He always had a cigar in his mouth. And he died of lung cancer at 72 or something like that.
Yeah.
But he still lived a long life,
Yeah, I definitely think it's hereditary. It's in your genes.
Mm-hmm.
If your body is prone to get cancer, you're going to end up with cancer one way or the other.
Yeah. Why do all these kids get cancer?
Right.
They didn't do anything to cause it.
So, but I know, I think I would feel better if I did quit. So.
Well, there's other things that cigarettes do cause. I mean, cigarettes do cause issues. I'm not saying that they're not causing issues, because they are. I mean, they take the oxygen out of your skin and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
And yes, they do cause other problems.
Sure.
And I'm sure they do cause lung cancer, and whether you have that cancer gene or not, I'm sure it has caused lung cancer in people. And there's all kinds of other effects that smoking does. So yeah, you should not smoke. I'm a firm believer that you shouldn't smoke, even though I do. You shouldn't. And I don't want anybody to say, "Oh, well, they said smoking's good for you." No, it's not. No, it causes a lot of problems. And yeah, you would feel better. In the morning I get up, I feel pretty good. I have that cigarette, and I start feeling like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I still smoke? Don't ask me.
Yep.
But I noticed that the other day. I felt fine. I hadn't smoked right away in the morning because I was at my dad's, and I can't smoke at my dad's except outside. And I was busy doing this and doing that and the other thing, getting him up and everything. And I was feeling good and energetic. And then I went outside, finally had a break in the action, went outside and had a cigarette. And yeah, it was almost instant. I had like a headache, and I was feeling kind of icky, and it's like, really? Why the hell am I smoking?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I noticed that too, Nikki. That in the mornings I'd go out and have my cigar, and it's cigarellas is what they are. They're cigars like cigarettes. They come in a soft pack. I'd be feeling fine, and I'd smoke that. And I'm like, oh my god, why do I feel so crappy? I'm nauseous and everything. I was like, why am I doing this?
Yeah. And I'm smoking outside too, but
I think you just it's that hand to mouth thing. It's a habit. That's the biggest part of the habit.
Yeah, because the nicotine, it doesn't bother me not to smoke.
Mm-hmm.
So I think my addiction is the hand to mouth thing. What am I going to do? Because like when I was in the hospital for 7 days, I wasn't like shaking, going, "Oh my god, I need a cigarette." I didn't need that nicotine. It was like after I ate, I felt like something was missing.
Yeah.
Right.
After a couple hours of watching TV, I felt like something was missing. you know. But it wasn't like, oh my God, I just need a cigarette. You know, I wasn't like that. It was just like something was missing.
It was the action itself.
Yeah. And I associate smoking with things like when we were going to drive to Pennsylvania, and I told my husband, I said, how in the hell am I going to drive all the way to frickin' Pennsylvania without being able to smoke to keep me awake? Because when I was a truck driver, I associated with that, you know, because I'd get tired driving and I'd light up a cigarette, roll down my window, light up a cigarette. That would keep me awake. You know what I mean? Or like when I was working a 9-to-5 job, what would I do on my breaks? What do non-smokers do on their breaks, you know?
Go hang out. And
usually they don't take a break.
Yeah, because they don't need one.
Right. Exactly. You know, like Sally said, you know, you don't if she doesn't smoke, she doesn't get a break.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah. And then it pisses all the non-smokers off. Like, well, why do smokers get breaks?
Right. Exactly.
That was my last job I was at. I hated the job. Despised it. Anyways, I would get bored. I hated it. I would get bored. I'd go down and have a cigarette. I'd come back up. I'd do my work, whatever. I got plenty of calls in. Nobody said anything about that. No boss ever complained about me going down to have a cigarette. It was the only thing they didn't complain about. But nobody ever complained or said, hey, you need to stop smoking so much or whatever. And I'd be sitting there and all of a sudden I'd be like, oh my God, I can't sit here any longer. And I'd go downstairs and have a cigarette. And this one girl, she complained, she goes, why do you get so many damn cigarette breaks? Us non-smokers don't just go down whenever we feel like it and have a cigarette. I said, I don't get that many breaks. I take them. If they fire me, I hope they do. I don't care. I was looking for a reason to leave anyways, you know? I was like, I just do it because I want to do it.
Yeah. You want to fire them for that? Well, then, go right ahead.
Did I ever do it at any other job like that? No. I hated that job so bad, you know? And I have a better work ethic than that, but at the end there, I couldn't take it anymore. I hated that job so bad. I would cry before work, on the way to work every day. Yeah, because I had to go there. My husband finally was like, you make more money on eBay. Why don't you just go full time on eBay? I was like, oh, thank God. Well, then I still felt bad quitting and whatever, blah, 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 you know, because I had good insurance and cheap insurance. And finally, I just had enough, and they screwed me out of like $500. And I was like, yeah, I'm done. They probably figured they were entitled to keep that $500 because I took so many smoke breaks. Just kidding. I'll get her $500.
Todd, are you going to the rummage sale?
Yeah, I figured I would. I missed last week with Gwen's little procedure, so
right.
It's been 2 weeks for them to restock. That
they
had a lot of good new stuff out the last little while.
Well, maybe they'll fill them up, you know, fill all their stuff up, and maybe you'll be able to find something.
Got this little vampire lady at the jewelry counter.
And
she'll sit there and go through every piece and examine to see if it's silver or gold. She doesn't give anybody a chance to. Sometimes she'll give a good deal, but not usually. But she's always there. I'm like,
why do you call her a vampire lady? Does she just look like that one, or does she have fangs, or what?
She's just a real skinny. Looks like she could come out at night and bite you in the neck.
You wear garlic around her?
She's a little bitty thing. She probably weighs about 100 pounds, but she's about 75 years old, and I don't know. She's a bloodsucker. You know, it's like she's got to get every nickel for her little pieces of jewelry she puts out for a rummage sale, and I'm like, it's a rummage sale. People are supposed to get good deals, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, they sell stuff cheaper there than you can buy it on eBay, but it's still way more than you can get it like at a garage sale or a, you know. So anyway, I'm just a whiner complainer, but yeah, she's a little, and she's all, I don't know, she's not filled out. She's got like her skin just kind of hangs, you know.
Yeah.
So she looks like if she drinks blood at night, she'll fill up all those little pockets of dead skin between. I mean, you know.
So at night she drinks the blood and she turns into this very voluptuous woman, and then by the end of the night, like it's already over, all used up, and so she has to do it again.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's pretty wild.
She kind of hovers over the jewelry like a bat, you know.
It's already
Just like,
over.
She'd fit in with the lady at this one thrift shop we went to the other day. I was standing there and she come up to check us out, and I looked and I was like, oh my God, she had these huge eyebrows. I mean, they're like way up here. I thought they were black electrical tape. I mean, they were wide and black and straight edged, and I'm thinking, you can't help but look at her. I'm thinking, oh, she kind of looked like a werewolf. I was like, it was like mesmerizing. You just sit there looking, thinking, why in the world would you do that? It was almost a unibrow, and just like, oh my goodness.
they've got those little epiladies for that thing, you know.
Lordy days. I'm thinking she must not have been able to find her eyebrow pen, because I really thought it was black electrical tape because they were almost had a shiny look to them. I'm thinking, ooh, hello, you know.
I just started reading the chat again, so I'm going to catch up, say hi to people. Hi, anybody I missed. There's a good auction tonight, and I'm kind of upset that I decided to stay home.
Yeah, there's an estate auction on Saturday. I'm probably going to go. It's about 50 miles away, but it looks good.
I'm kind of upset that I missed it, because I just read the advertisement for it, and his meat guy died. So he's selling off all the rest of the meat that he had. And Hank, and he sells these Italian sausages that are so good. And I was like, dang it, I wish I would have went and got some Italian sausages. My husband and my daughter are working the canine tonight. His company does they're big donators for the canine, for the police, you know, the canines. And they're working at that tonight. And I thought, well, I'll go to the auction, because they'll be there till at least 9 o'clock probably. And I was like, oh, I could go to the auction. But then I ended up staying home because I got to get a lot of stuff done around here. And then I got to go tomorrow and out of town. So I thought, well, I should really stay home today. But
at that auction, when you buy something, they put it to the side. Do they assign a dog to watch over it so nobody else can grab it?
what? I didn't hear what you said, Todd. I'm sorry.
I said at that auction, do they like when you buy something and they set it out to the side? Do they have a guard dog standing over it that'll watch it for
No.
you so
Wouldn't that be
nobody else
nice?
can grab it?
Wouldn't that be nice? No. You know, it's funny, you know, well, it's not funny, but the biggest thieves you'll find are at auctions. There's so many thieves at auctions.
I haven't had a problem around here like that. I'm sure it goes on, but I've
Yeah, I
never
don't
noticed
usually
it
have a
any of the
lot of
ones I've
problems.
been to.
I don't usually have a lot of problems. I used to have a couple of years ago. I used to have problems with things going missing, and and it was this one guy. He ended up getting involved in a drive-by shooting, and he went to prison. And ever since then, I haven't had any problems since because people know who I am there.
You are.
That's really true, though. I mean, because everybody knows me there.
I have more problems with, after you buy something, people come up and say, can I buy that one thing that's in that box from you? I'm like, no, that's the reason I bought the box.
Back off.
So,
Just so I don't sound like an ass. I've been going to that auction since I was a little kid with my dad. So everybody knows me. Everybody knows my dad. Everybody. I'm really good friends with the auctioneer.
yeah, but
Nobody thinks that I really actually think that that's a thing. It's more of a joke when we say it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's funny.
But yeah, I always say, yeah, I'll take $20 for that. And I may have only given $3 for the box. And they look at me like, are you crazy?
Mhm.
Like, yeah, I don't want it that bad.
Yeah. I know. Most people are pretty nice, but
Very rarely do I sell things out of my boxes, but my husband does. One time I sent him, we had an auction, it was on our road, and it was this big fancy, there's this like 400 and some $1,000 house down our road. And the guy, everything was just beautiful. Anyways, my husband, I decided to have a rummage sale here to get some of that auction traffic, you know. And my daughter was going to work it while I was at the auction. Well, I had ended up being late for the auction, and I told my husband, I says, you know what I like and what I want to get, so don't pass anything up, right? Because usually my stuff goes first. And at the time I was really into, I was selling a lot of glassware, a lot of knickknacks, that kind of stuff. And so he had bought boxes. He had a whole truckload full by the time I got there, and I was only about a half hour late. Anyways, he goes, dear, you'd be so proud of me. He says, I've sold more out of these boxes than what I've paid for the stuff. I'm just like, oh my God, what have you been selling? But he was so proud of himself. Philip Leitner and your T-shirt that says "Don't you know who I am?" That's right. Yeah, I missed the auction last week and the week before, so I'm kind of upset that I decided not to go today. But oh well.
our weekly auctions around here are just horrible. They have awful stuff, just no good. There might be 2 items in the whole auction that you'd want to have, and you go, I don't want to sit there for 3.5 hours for them to get to that one item, and then
Now, see, I love that because I just love going to the auction, and like I said, everybody knows me there, so I can be shooting the shit with people in between, and
yeah, that's hard to believe that you'd be shooting the shit with people.
I'm not like Tara and Jim. I actually talk to people.
That is hard to believe, Nikki. You're so shy and bashful, and you hardly talk to anybody.
I know.
Unless they tell you I'm your biggest fan or something like that,
No,
then you're
I
all
was actually,
then you
I
get all
was
shy.
actually shy that day.
I love you,
I
Nikki.
watch you on your
You're the
channel.
best.
What channel? I don't have a channel. I don't know what
Yeah.
you're talking about.
No clue.
Right, right.
Mhm.
And then I was trying to keep it a secret
Mm-hmm.
because for anybody who doesn't know, a viewer found me at the auction and came up to his dad first came up to me and said, "You're Poplar Picker, right?" And I was like, yeah. And he's like, "My kid watches you. He just adores you, blah, blah, blah." Well, then a little bit later, I was looking at some box rows and his kid came up to me. Well, I say kid, but he's over 18. Anyways, he comes up to me and he's like, "Poplar Picker?" I was like, "Shh, yeah." Because I didn't want anybody at the auction to know. Well, then, the reason why I didn't want anybody to know, first of all, was because I'm good friends with the auctioneer, and he loves to find any reason to give me shit. So I thought for sure if he found out about my channel, he would be giving me some shit, and so anyways, it was funny because then I talked to him that day. Well, then the next week, the auctioneer, I was talking to the auctioneer, and he's like, "Hey, you still doing that blog?" And I said, "What blog?" And he goes, "You know what I'm talking about, Nick." And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "That's awesome." And he was all, "Oh, it's great, blah blah blah. This guy talks really highly of you and blah 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 blah." And I was like, "Okay." He hasn't made fun about me about it yet, but yeah, it was funny.
All
He's
right,
just waiting.
headed to
Like,
the rummage sale. I'll see y'all if y'all are still on.
Bye,
see you,
Todd.
Todd.
Bye, Todd. Have fun.
Bye.
Yeah, it was funny. I love talking to people and watching everything they sell. Yep, I do too. I just love listen. I just love going to listen. Even if, I could go and sit there and not buy a dang thing, just sit there and listen. I love it.
Yeah, exactly, Joanna. I mean, there are definitely people on there that, you know, I mean, they need to do their research. So they don't need
Yeah.
to go on to, you know, that that stuff that doesn't work. But
I don't mind helping people, and I agree with you to a certain point. I mean, I believe these Facebook groups. I love helping people.
mhm.
Um, but yeah, sometimes it gets a little much, and yeah, when they have like 40 ties and they're like, which ones are worth money? Yeah, that's a little daunting, but I don't mind answering people's questions.
Yeah.
Yeah, Delvin, I was listening to your show the other day and you were doing it. I was like, oh, keep doing it. I
Yep.
love listening to
Yep. I like that too. I like hearing
that.
it.
Now that the auctioneer who's the friend of mine, he's not really fast. Um, he's more playing the crowd. And he's not really fast. Now his dad, who was the original auctioneer, oh man, I miss when he used to do it because I mean he would actually, I mean he was like he was singing.
Mhm.
It was so amazing to listen to him. Um, Now the friend of mine that's the auctioneer, I don't mind listening to him or whatever, but because he's funny, you know, and he'll call people like, "Come on, tightwad," or whatever, and he'll make jokes and whatever. So I mean, it works. But yeah, I love listening to that auction chant. I just love listening to it. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and just listen. I'm a weirdo.
That's okay. We're all
It is.
weirdos.
Yeah.
um yeah, so I am going to list today. Got lots of stuff to list, and I've got to do some cross posting, and yeah, so I'll be busy today.
I need to get listing. I had that $200 return the other day, and yeah, kind of stinging a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, my eBay sales are in the toilet after being off for like 2 months. And then you end up with a $200 return. It's like, ouch.
Yeah, that really hurts.
Thank God my husband has a job.
Mm.
He's like, he asked me the other day, he's like, are you ever going to make any money again? I was like, yes, I am. Shut up.
Oh.
It's all in the plan.
It's my 10-year plan.
Still a plan. Grandma Magic Classic says I love the research. So,
Yeah, I do too.
as if, yeah, something I really can't figure out, I'll post it, but or I've had a few things set on a shelf and not listed because I couldn't figure it out. Yeah, I mean we all have those,
Mm-hmm.
those items where, you just don't have the time or the want to figure out what it is, and there's nothing wrong with even putting them on the group and say, hey, does anybody know what this is?
Yeah.
So there's nothing wrong with that. That's awesome, Joanna.
Mm-hmm.
I was just looking at them over on that Vape Wild. I want to get something that I'm going to be comfortable with, so um, it'll be an investment definitely because the mod will cost a little bit of money, and um, so I'll make it work.
I gave my thumbs up, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Did you know? I just noticed I have two different pictures. I
Do
have
you?
a picture. I have a picture in the chat of me that's different than the picture in the Hangout.
Oh yeah, you do.
You ever notice that?
That's funny.
That's
That's
weird.
weird.
Huh. I wonder why that is.
Grandma Magic Classics, though, you can always go to the reseller squad if you need to.
Yeah.
We don't play that game.
We don't bite anybody's head off.
No.
No. No. And that's the thing too, is if the positive thing about that is maybe, you put something up and say, I have looked, I have researched, I can't figure out what the heck this is. Does anybody know what it is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If somebody knows, somebody else might have it on their shelf too, and they're like, then more people can know, or they can know what to look for.
Yeah.
When they're out and about. So I think it's definitely a good thing to learn about, the different things out there. But
Yeah.
so don't ever hold back.
Well, I was one time, one of the resellers had put up a set of lamps and she didn't know what they were. And she says, the only tag I find is Underwriter's Laboratory or whatever. And she says, so I'm assuming that's who made it. And I explained to her that that's not who made it, that's, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I did find the lamps and I told her what they were. And she was pleasantly surprised. But I mean, it wasn't, everybody else would laugh at that. That
Right.
she said, oh, well, they're probably made by Underwriter Laboratory, but I think it was Underwriter's Laboratory. I think it was, she said. Anyways, and I was just like, no, that's not it, But I didn't laugh at her, and she'd been reselling for a few years, but It's not always something everybody knows, you know.
Right.
I mean, they see a sticker and that's what they think it is, you know. And everybody knows everything. There's
True.
stuff I don't know. Like clothing, I have no freaking clue about clothing. Um, and I always have tons of questions about clothing.
Right.
You know, like one time I was in a hangout with these girls, and I was like, "Hey, what about these boots? They weren't worth crap. What about this? They weren't worth crap." Stuff that I thought might have been, it wasn't. I know nothing about women's clothing, especially men's clothing. I do okay sometimes, but women's clothing, nada.
Yeah. It's uh it's a learning I mean, I still learn all the time, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So it's a learning process.
it is. Yeah, we're
And
always learning. I mean,
and two
if we're
years ago, you know, I I have learned so much in just the 2 years that I've been doing this. Well,
hmm
it's been about 3, but yeah. I mean, and it helped, that I had Sally with me because, we would bounce things off of each other and um if I learned something, I would pass it on to her and she would do the same for me. So it actually really helped us um, working together. So
yeah. Well, and like me and probably like the 9 pound hammer, Deldon, um, and some other people, you know, we have been doing this kind of stuff forever. I mean, before eBay, I was still reselling stuff, and um, I still had an interest in antiques and collectibles and stuff like that. Do I know everything about them? Absolutely not. And I still have to look stuff up and whatever, but a lot of people are coming into this not with a background. They just want to start reselling and they have an interest in it, but they don't have a background in it. And so some of those people need a little extra help. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-mm.
Grandma Magic Classic says they got a store in the next town going out of business selling LuLaRoe.
Hmm.
Spell it wrong, for $10 each. New with tags. Yeah, be careful with those because there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot. The market's kind of saturated. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so just be really careful with that because there's a lot of people that went out of business, and so everything is
Mm-hmm.
just, and so the value of those may not be as much as they used to be.
Mm.
So just kind of keep that in mind when you're looking at those.
Yeah.
Johanna says they forget to tell you about cancer of the voice box. My dad had to have his voice box removed and throat rerouted,
Mm.
finally getting him healed up. Wow.
Wow.
I think
Yeah, I
Joanna
know.
might be lagging a little bit.
Yeah, maybe.
Just so she knows when she catches up, we're not ignoring her.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't do clothes, trying to get what I got sold so I can get out of that for the most part. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
I hear popcorn
I do
popping.
too. I'm like going, I hear popcorn.
I'm
What?
popping
I'm not
popcorn.
allowed to have popcorn anymore, so that's no fair.
I need to
Who
smell
is
them.
that?
It must be Nikki.
It's me. I love popcorn. Sorry, guys.
I do too. I can't go to the movie and not buy. I said, how am I supposed to go to
Oh
a
my
movie
God,
and
I love
not buy
popcorn.
popcorn and eat it?
Yeah, you can't. You
I ate,
can't. That's
I ate some chicken rice this morning at like 6. This morning I woke up just starving to death. I mean, I was so hungry. I mean, I was ready to chew my arm off. I was so hungry. And so like 6 o'clock this morning, I woke up at like 5, but like 5:30, 6 o'clock, I made myself some rice, some chicken rice. And well, I didn't eat it all. I only ate a little bit of it. And then I gave the rest of it to Lugnuts because it don't taste good heated up. And so I'm sitting here, I'm like, God, I'm freaking hungry. So I was like, I got some popcorn in there. Well, I haven't lived in my house for 2 months.
right.
So it's a little slim pickings around here because I haven't gone grocery shopping. I just moved back in like day before yesterday. So it's a little slim pickings around here right now.
You get back to
But yeah,
normal.
I eat weird things for breakfast. I eat fish for breakfast. I eat rice for breakfast.
Hey,
I like rice for breakfast if it's got butter and sugar on it, but
I'll eat fish and eggs together. You know,
no,
a little weird.
no,
Mm-mm. No, ma'am.
no.
And my dad, he doesn't grocery shop a lot either, because he doesn't eat a lot. So he
right.
buys some just little bits of stuff or whatever. One time I went and stayed at his house to watch the dog, and just by myself. And Gary was home, and I went there, and the next morning I was just starving. I was like, God, what's for breakfast? You know, what can I have for breakfast? And he had eggs, and I love egg. I absolutely love eggs. If anybody knows me, they know I love eggs. I eat eggs just about every day, and well, then I couldn't find any kind of like meat to have with it. All I could find was sardines, so I ate sardines with my eggs. And my daughter, she's like, she called me. She's like, what are you eating for breakfast? Because everybody knows my dad doesn't have a whole lot of food in his house, just because he eats out a lot. Because it's just him, and he eats weird stuff, you know, different stuff than everybody else. And I was like, oh, I found some sardines and eggs I'm eating. She goes, oh my God, I'm ready to puke.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's like Teresa can eat a greasy cheeseburger. If we're going on a trip or something, we'll stop at Frisch's on the way out in the morning. You know, I gotta have breakfast at breakfast. I can't have anything else but breakfast foods. She's eating a cheeseburger and I'm over there gagging. It's like, I don't think so. That's just
Good morning,
gross.
Chris. I work too hard for this body to be picky. So
Unless I've been up all night, like if we go night fishing or something, then I can eat just about anything. But once I've been asleep and then I wake up, it's breakfast time.
Yeah.
So, but I've been known to go fishing all night and then go hit White Castles. You know.
There you
Yep.
go. Never had them.
Like I
Never
told
had
my
White
husband,
Castle.
I love White Castles. The
My
frozen
body
ones at the
doesn't-
store, nasty.
my body doesn't know that I'm not supposed to eat fish for breakfast. You know, my body doesn't know that I'm not supposed to eat a sucker for breakfast. You know,
Yeah. True enough. All right, guys. I think I'm gonna wrap it up for today. I hope everybody has a great day. We'll see you all tomorrow. We'll be back.
bye everybody.
Bye, guys.